I see you, Paula. What's up?
Hey,
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Lovely. It's a beautiful day here. How's it there?
Good. I don't think we're super proximately apart. If you're in Northern
Yeah,
Virginia.
right. Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's a good day. It's like not too bad. So I'm happy. I would normally was sitting outside, but I was like, I should go in just in case lawnmowers start going off.
My husband is mowing currently.
See? It always happens to me. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do these calls out here, and then all of a sudden, blowers. I'm just like, oh no, okay, I gotta go inside.
Is
So
your
I didn't want
background is your
this
background
is
Zoom is real?
no, it's real. It's
It's
it's real fake.
beautiful. It's
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a fake reel.
I love it.
Thank you, thank you. It's fun, Why not? So, any questions for in-person marketing today? Any questions that you want us to answer?
Should I have something other than an elevator speech prepared? What should I bring with me?
Okay. When you go to doctors, when you go where? To like gyms?
Gyms, doctors, functional
Okay,
medicine places,
I like that.
um, people
Okay,
like
what
where
should
you were saying, like where pregnant people are, like the coffee shop or whatever, wherever they hang
yeah,
out.
yeah. Right. So, what to bring with you to basically go market?
I had a
Yeah,
marketing meeting today. You would be proud.
that's amazing. That's awesome. What's up, guys? So, wait, you have it or you had it?
I had it.
How'd it go?
It went really well. I joined up with two other yoga teachers who also teach like a pregnancy postpartum type genre.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then you got their contacts, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. Cool, cool, cool. That's awesome. That's really good. And then you're going to email them afterwards and connect?
Of course.
Okay, good. Perfect. Good. I know you're good on the follow-up. I know. It's just the marketing. So yes. Um, but yeah, hey, that's why you're here, right?
That's why I'm
What's up?
here.
What's up, Sophia? What's up, Natasha? How are you guys? Good. What do you guys want to learn today? If you want to type it in the chat, let us know what you guys want to learn. We'll hopefully be able to answer at the end.
What's up?
Amanda's
What's
on.
up?
What's up?
Hi,
What's up?
Amanda.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Woo!
you.
What's up, everybody? Hey, Paula. Good to see you.
Lauren's coming
Same.
on.
I keep missing you on Pelvic Posse.
I know. I was there today. My voice is back this week, except I can't sing. I've been trying to hit my Whitney Houston this week in the office, and it's not happening.
Uh-oh.
That's never good.
Right? Everybody needs to hit those Whitney Houston high notes.
Oh, gosh. You'd be like, "Ah!"
No,
Yeah, right.
literally, we're playing Whitney Houston, and I'm trying to hit it. I was like, and we're not there yet. Next week.
It's coming back. It's
Can only
coming back.
imagine
What's
what
up,
happens in this place.
Tori? What's up, Tori? I know I can't see your face.
Hello. Oh,
Nice that you're
sorry.
on. Yeah, what's up?
Yes.
Hello.
Show your faces,
Hello.
everybody.
Casey, what's up? So good to see you, Tori. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Can you guys put in the chat bar where you are? Because I'm on Central Time Zone and I would love to see where everyone else is right now. Oh, South Carolina. That is my favorite state. Pennsylvania, Orlando, Colorado, Missouri. What's up, Sophie? We're at in Missouri.
Hey, I don't know if you can hear me. My microphone wasn't working earlier, but I'm in Warrensburg.
Ah, right down the road.
Yeah, I'm from South Carolina though, so I saw the Greenville. I grew up in Charleston, so
Amazing. What is your profession?
I am pediatric sleep consultant. So
Oh, girl, I know who you are now.
Yeah, we
Okay.
met.
Thank you. I was like, the name
for
looks
doing this.
familiar and I can see your face. It just wasn't registering. Amazing. All connecting. Knoxville, Tennessee. Lauren, a lot of us know about those raging kids. I wanted to blame the moon on that this week, but it is not a full moon. So if you know of anything else happening in the atmosphere, we'll blame it on that. Kids are kids, crazy children. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for taking time out of your day to join us.
Yes, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, let's get into it. So today's workshop, we're going to talk about how to market in person to your community. So for those that don't know us, we'll just do a quick intro. My name is Kelly Alhui. I am founder of PelviBiz, so I help pelvic health therapists make more money and be healthy while doing it. I'm also founder of Orthopelvic Physical Therapy. I have a brick and mortar practice here in Sterling, Virginia. And I want to tell you guys, my number one false belief, I would say in a cash-based practice, and I would love to know in the comments if this was y'all, but my number one thing was, why would anyone pay me cash? That was number one. And then also too, I saw my old bosses that were, so stressed out all the time. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I was like, there's no way I want to be them. So why would I ever want to own my own business when I saw that they were all stressed out? So was that anyone on here at all? Is that anyone where you're like, look, why would they want to come see me? That's number one. And number two, why would I ever want to own my own practice when it seems like all these practice owners are all stressed out? And, why would I ever want to do that to myself? Because then my health goes, right? So these are the big things that I had to learn to get over, that it doesn't have to be the way that I saw my old bosses doing it. That's number one. And number two, people definitely want to pay us cash because of the results that we're getting and the impact that we're making on our patients. So those are some things that I had to quickly get over when doing my brick and mortar practice and also with PelviBiz. So what marketing has done for me, I have to say, my business, number one, it's allowed me to grow my brick and mortar practice from no patients to now almost 500 patients a month, cash base. And we charge $230 a session, so that is massive. It's a big feat, and I did it under in 3 years now, but I was at 6-figure or 7-figure mark in 2 years. So you can grow quickly. It doesn't have to be something that's slow growing. It's also allowed me to hire with promoting marketing. It's also promoted the mission of PelviBiz and Orthopelvic. I've used online to connect with patients and also business owners and collaborate, and also in person. I've used the community to be able to collaborate and connect. It's super important. And then I've also promoted products online as well. And then I've learned to just gain the community's attention by putting on different events and showing that you are actually the premium go-to person in your area. Even when I moved from California, no one in Virginia knew me. I had to be like, hey, I'm here over here. And I had to come in and make a big statement. So you guys can do that, whether or not you move to a new area or whether or not, you're just new, your business is new. It's like, how do you get people seen? That's what we're going to talk about today. So also, just quick note, Jane wanted to help us out today. So if anyone needs an EMR system, it's like where we put electronic medical records. I have a code. I can put it in the chat. It's PelviBiz1MO. You can get a free month for Jane.
All right, guys, what's up? I'm Amanda with Empower Your Pelvis. We've got 2 clinics, one in Missouri, one in Kansas, and I've had them now since 2017. Decided to open them up right before I found out 2 days later I was pregnant with our 3rd kid. And if you've been pregnant or gone through that while you've owned a business, it's crazy. So if anybody needs help with that, let me know. False belief I had, because people were like, hey, go out on your own. And this is 2017. This was a couple years ago. I didn't feel ready. I felt like I hadn't taken enough CEUs. I felt like I needed all the CEUs. Does anybody register with me? Take all the classes, talk to all the people. I had not taken a business class, so I had no idea what the heck I was doing. And I felt in limbo. I felt like I needed help. I needed guidance. So I definitely felt like just not quite ready for it. So I even went out and tried to do renting space out of another PT clinic. I did the mobile practice thing before actually bouncing in my own. One of our clinics, our Missouri clinic, I started out self-pay, and then the fear set in probably when I was like 8 months pregnant of, you know what, I think I need to be in insurance, because I had a lot of docs telling me they would send me more patients if I was with insurance. Don't do it. I did it. I've learned, and we are trying to go back into self-pay, to be frank. So we currently opened up our Kansas clinic, and what marketing has allowed me to do, guys, the first month with our Kansas clinic, we had 47 visits. Our second month, we had 87 visits. So that was over $16,000 in revenue, close to $17,000 just in our second month, which is kind of crazy. I didn't realize how quickly we had actually grown, because with my first one, I was seeing like 2 patients a week, and I thought that was great. But with our second clinic and we are a little fish in a big pond. And I just made sure the marketing has been on point with that clinic. So marketing is key. It is not something, again, I have not had any marketing or business classes and felt like I could not do this without it. But here we are today, me and Kelly, to tell you that this can be done, and it's a learned behavior that can just grow things exponentially if you want them to, or to make it really what you want on your own. Marketing has allowed us to reach out into our community and build relationships, which is how that Kansas clinic has really grown and really prospered in the last 2 months. And then our Missouri side, we have a 9-room clinic here, and we are busting at the seams. We have no more room for people. So marketing is an amazing thing to learn. And once you figure out your wording for your audience, it does amazing things for what you're wanting out of your life. All right. First things first with marketing, excuse me, who's your audience? Have you looked at who you're trying to market to? For me and our clinics, it's pelvic floor patients. That's what we want. We want moms. We want menopausal women. We want prenatal. That was our big push during COVID. We figured out, let's say, pregnancy patients. If we're going to zone in on that niche, where would I be looking for my pregnant patients? Where do they hang out? Well, they have quite a few visits in a month at an OB-GYN office. And you best be heck thinking that I'm going to be joining those and going to talk to them and figure out what they want. Some of if I'm still staying down with that niche, like what gyms are they going to? Are they going to a prenatal yoga? Are they wanting to stay fit with a burn boot camp or a blush boot camp or an Orange Theory? I want to know what they're doing in those classes. So I'm going and I'm speaking to the managers there. Where do they shop and hang out? Where are they getting their mommy gear? Are they getting it at maybe secondhand thrift shops? Are they getting them at local boutiques? Are they finding them at the stroller store like Bye Bye Baby? What are in those swag bags that they're getting at those places, and how can I be a part of them? Where are they getting coffee? Maybe not so much during pregnancy. Maybe it's tea. Maybe it's a chai tea latte. I'm going to go partner with them. Who's not a corporate group and who's a mom and pop shop? Those are my people, because I'm a mom and shop person too. And small business community helps small business people. Where are they getting their hair and nails done? Where are they getting pampered? Where are they getting massages? Who's their chiropractor? I want to team up with their team. Figure out who your audience is and start to really think about where they're going. If you don't know, ask. These are big things. Every patient that comes in, I know what they are doing outside of my walls, or at least I think I like to know what they're doing, but I'm asking these questions. I'm also asking, where were they referred from? Who told you about it? Was it your BFF? Was it your doctor? Was it your midwife? I want to get to know them a little bit better. Tell me where you're hanging out with your BFF. And so that really helps me play into where they're at and how we can touch base with more people like them.
Great. And going off of what Amanda said is recently, guys, we've been friending our patients on Instagram. So, like, it's just getting to know them, because you're like, oh, Sally, oh my God, she's so cute in clinic. And now look at her cute family, or look at, this. So we've actually been friending our patients. And it's actually worked out well, because we can continue on the conversation and comment on certain things and be like, Sally, it's so nice to see that you went to the farmer's market today. And she's like, great, thanks so much, and you're continuing to then be on their mind. That's very important. Okay. So let's go to the Big 45 list. I love the Big 45 list. I always talk about the Big 45 list because it is the go-to. You've got to do the research before just going in and diving in and just doing all this stuff and nothing's working. So, number one, who do you want to refer to you? So let's just say I'm someone that wants to work with chronic pelvic pain. I'm going to use as an example. Okay. Typically, chronic pelvic pain patients are not going to go to CrossFit gyms. I mean, they can, but a lot of times they're not. So a lot of times, where do you think they're going? They're going typically to yoga studios, bar studios, Pilates studios. So my target then is going to be geared towards Pilates, yoga, bar studios, maybe like the stretch lab, because maybe it feels good for them to get stretched out. Like that's where my target audience is. So you guys that are on right now, number one, I talked about this last week, but I want to make sure that you have your go-to, like this is who I actually am targeting. Does everyone have that? Can you put me in the comments? Does everyone have that? If you're on. Anyone? Me. Okay, cool. Okay, good. So now can you guys put as well, like who you're actually targeting so we can speak specifically on that? Like, is it yoga people? Is it Pilates? Is it CrossFitters? Is it a fit mom? Like, what is it? Paula said, not sure yet, still working on it. Okay, that's okay. Who are we targeting, guys? Who are we targeting? Because we're going to do this exercise all together because it's very important. Okay, working moms. I love that. Working moms. Working moms that do what, Sophia? How else can we get deeper into that? Working moms that like to do yoga, working moms that like have kids under the age of 3. Give me more specific on that. To perform at, okay, that need to perform at work. Okay, great. New moms who prefer alternate medicine world. Okay, great. Kids under 3. Okay, great. Okay, mom groups. Yeah, MOPS. I'm actually have this on here. Yes, I love MOPS. Adults. Okay, so active adults who want to be healthy and fit. Great. So like a weekend warrior kind of people. Okay, so specifically, if I was targeting, let me just pick one. If I was targeting, I see post-op plastic. Okay, so let's say I'm targeting post-op, maybe lymphatic, maybe post-breast cancer. Okay, if I'm targeting that population, then where do those people go? Who do they go and hang out with? Who do they go see? So number one, I need 15 doctors. I need you guys to write down 15 doctors potentially that these people would be going to see. And doctors count as like, you can also classify massage therapists in there, acupuncturists in there. You can also, any kind of like sound healing or, spiritual healing, any kind of breath work practices in there, like Qigong. I'm getting really outside the box, but a lot of times people with cancer have some kind of other spiritual aspect that they have to bring in to help heal them. Not always, but more often than not, that's true. And when I was in California, they did laughing classes. I'd be putting that on there. So who are they going to go see besides not the urologist, but the oncologist and those kind of doctors? Okay. And maybe the lymphatic physical therapist as well. I'll be putting that on there. So anything that you're like, hey, these are my people and these are where they would go. You got to put that in the doctor's list. Then 15 gyms. Someone that typically has breast cancer, they may be a big CrossFitter, but they also may be a Pilates person. So you want to see like, who are my people? And if they're more Pilates, yoga, less weight, and more like kind of movement kind of things, then put those people on your list. The biggest thing that I see that people do is try to have this like imposter syndrome going on, and the fact that they try to target all these gyms and maybe they don't know anything about CrossFit. And they're like, hey, I'm going to go to these CrossFit gyms. And they go in there, and I'm going to talk about this later on, but they're like, hey, can I do a workshop here? And they don't even know like what a double under is. And I'm not faulting anyone for that, but go with what feels right. Because if it feels a little unnatural to you, if that's not truly your population, if you try to go approach a CrossFit gym, it may just be like, they may like sniff it out and be like, this person has no clue how to do CrossFit. Why would you want to put on a workshop here? So start with what you're comfortable with, where your population is, and go from there. Then the last thing I would put is what Facebook groups that you can go online to. Is there these like running clubs that potentially these races are doing for breast cancer awareness? Is there, just again, running clubs in general, like for maybe hip pain or low back pain? Maybe you go there, like a shoe store, and you put those on your list. So you need 15 doctors, 15 gyms, and then 15 Facebook groups or Instagram groups or some kind of club that you can join to allow you to be like, hey, that's where my population is, and I'm going to go hang out with them. So once you make that list, then you're like, how do I get to know them? You go and you get to know them by going in person. Can you go actually to the running store and be like, hey, I'm here for the run at 6 o'clock tonight? Cool. You're just going to go and start talking to those people. You don't want to wait on like the leader to be like, hey, can I make an announcement to the group? No, your people are right there in front of you. You want to go and just start talking to them and be like, hey, you want to be my running partner today? Okay, great. If you're not into running, be like, hey, you want to go to the park and do some yoga together? Okay, great. So that's where you can go and start getting your tribe and figuring out like, hey, this is where my audience is hanging out because you're actually talking to these people. So if you don't know, that's how you do it. If you do know, start targeting those people and go to where they're hanging out. And then you want to make sure that you get some kind of contact with them. So, hey, Sally, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I love running with you. Is that okay if you give me your number so I can text you to see if you're going to be at this running club the following week? Is that cool? Yeah, that's great. Okay, I get Sally's number, put it in my phone, text her in the next week and being like, hey, I'm going to this running club. Do you want to come tonight and be my running partner? Okay, great. Or, hey, like Amanda's example, I'm going to go to Burn Boot Camp. Do you want to come with me and be my partner there and keep me accountable? All right, cool. And so that way you start building a connection that's very authentic and doesn't feel salesy whatsoever.
All right. So another audit you want to do is actually look and see where people are coming from. So one way that has done this really easy for us is we use Jane app for our EMR system, our electronic medical records with our patients. And they all have a chart where they have to choose, and it's a requirement on our patient intake forms, who referred you. And they tell us whether it's a doctor or it's a friend. Now, we may also have a referral coming in from a doctor. On our Google Excel spreadsheet things, we keep track of each month how many referrals we have coming in, who it came from, and where their location is. This is just something I started doing years ago, and we've kept up with it. So we know our top 5 referring places, whether it's, again, we sort this out in doctor's offices, OB-GYNs, because that's our jam is pelvic floor. So ours is the OB-GYN groups, doc groups. And then we're looking at local community places. And we do the top 5 businesses that have referred to us that maybe a patient has come in, maybe they heard about us at Burn Boot Camp, they came in from the local stroller shop, yada, yada, yada. Now, what our clinic does with that, and you're looking at your group too to see where these are coming from, what we do is we reach out and thank them. Okay. We do the top month. I go out and thank them. And when I was smaller and didn't have a lot of money coming in, this would be even just a handwritten note, guys, goes a long way. I was handwriting thank you notes to docs, telling them how much I appreciated this. This is one thing I still do in my business because to me, a handwritten note it shows me that I've taken the time, or someone else who's written that has taken the time, and it just hits my heart the right way. And then so those are my top docs, and then my top local community places as well. And when I'm going to hand out that handwritten note, I go in person to do that in the community. So if it's at a local coffee shop, I'm obviously buying a coffee or a tea while I'm there, or I'm looking into when I drop it off, like, hey, what way can we benefit each other this next month? Is it coming onto the podcast? Is it me taking your stuff to the clinic and offering up like a $5 coupon for your people? How can we help benefit your office or location as a thank you from Empower Your Pelvis or our clinic? So thinking about that way too. Other ways that we reach out with our community to whoever's referred to us, once a quarter, we do a community service as a clinic where we're going and thanking places where we've gotten referrals. So for us, we've become really close with the NICU docs, the NICU nurses at the local hospitals. So once a quarter, we choose to go there and we're thanking them with, maybe it's coffees in the morning or lattes from Costco. But then we're also providing value to the people who are in the NICU. I'm a NICU mom. This is something that's near and dear to my heart. So this is something we do because you feel really alone. And I thought, how can we help pelvic floors while people are sitting in the NICU? So we give them little pamphlets, we buy little lotions, little toothpaste, little toothbrushes, anything out of the dollar section that can help support those moms that maybe didn't know they were going to be there at the NICU. Again, find something that is niche down to you, where your people are coming from, figure out how to thank them and let them know that they're appreciated. Those moms are also given a handwritten note from us as well. We know about how many NICU moms are in our local hospitals each quarter, and then we take the time to handwrite those things out ahead of time when we deliver them. And for us, it's around Mother's Day. So that's our up and coming one. Another one that we do with our local docs, especially this would be like our Kansas location that just opened. We offer to do a 1 session free of treatment to the doctors and nurses, really to the nurses. They have more time. We can get in with the nurses. You want to get past that front desk. This is a great way to do so, to offer them up a free session so they know what pelvic floor physical therapy is for us. You do it to whatever your niche is. One other thing that we've started doing, I went to a sexual health conference at the beginning of March, and there I volunteered my pelvic floor to have 46 pelvic exams. Whoa, that's crazy. And but what I learned is these docs really have no idea how the muscles are working and how to utilize them. So we taught these docs in about 90 seconds to 2 minutes. That's how long they got, which does not seem very long. But we taught them, okay, here's the vulva. It's not just skin. These are muscles. Okay, we're going to go ahead and insert in. We walked them through an exam, tested them on it very quickly, and they were all so thankful because this is something they weren't doing within their exam. And so now we've been hosting groups of docs to be able to do this too, and it's been very helpful to our business. So this is something too. Maybe it's not doc groups. Maybe it is that local stroller store. Maybe it is the massage therapist. It doesn't have to be just docs that you are offering this up to. Any local people, because this also, our front office admin, they get the free session with us too, but they get one by each PT in our clinic. And that's another word of mouth that, hey, when she's on the phone and scheduling people, she has an idea of what's going on. So it's all these different pieces of words of mouth of people who can figure out what you're doing with whatever your business is, and then be able to tell their experience, their really good experience, so that you can continue to get more referrals. So doctors are a little bit longer. It's a longer play game, meaning you go there, you're probably not going to get referrals that day. We have to really work the doctors like we talked about. We go in, we drop some things off. I usually ask for people's information, and then figuring out how can I touch base with them? What makes me come back in? And we're going to touch on this a little bit longer of how to get past the front desk, but I'm always asking for the nurse's information and contact information, because maybe I want to drop something off. Maybe I want to get to know them a little bit better. I'm always asking what are their favorite drinks and food, any food allergies in the office as well, in case we have an opening that I can go and stop by. But it's going to be a longer process of getting them to know, like, and trust you, just like our patients. That's kind of how the doctor offices go too. Gyms, these are people that are typically, you go in, let me just use Burn Boot Camp. They're getting a nice plug today. Not sponsored, but oh well. Those people are already doing what my people have issues with. They're peeing their pants. We know that 1 in 2 people pee their pants. Those people are jumping up and down. They are using poor form typically. And that is an easy sale for me. We can do a workshop there. I can drop things off. I can have a little postcard that they hand out in their swag bags. If the gym that you're going to has swag bags that say like pee in your pants, click this QR code and find out more or something. And that's an easy way to get into them, because those places are already the people where my people are hanging out, if that makes sense.
All right, guys. So now you want to find the gaps and add the value. So I'm going to go on the theme of Burn Boot Camp. So we're not sponsoring them, but we are today. So when you position yourself to gyms, and we're going to use Burn Boot Camp because that's kind of the theme that we're going on. So Burn Boot Camp, for those that don't know, It is a strength training workout. Okay. It's heavy on strength training and they lift heavy weights. Okay. So because of that, what are they actually kind of missing? What's lacking in that workout? Typically mobility. They're not sitting there doing a stretching routine afterwards. They're not really working on like their hip mobility or anything like that. So how I like to approach it is, what is the gap of what they actually are offering their clients? They're offering a lot of strength training and they do some cardio because they have different days. So it's strength training and cardio, but there's not a day where they're really just focusing on mobility. So this is when you can plug yourself in as value. So how I position it, it's very important. The position is the biggest thing, because most people will be like, hi, I just had a free like 3-day trial, and can I do a workshop here? I hear this all the time. And that they're going to be like, why? What's the benefit? So instead, what I want you actually to do is, number one, like Amanda said, you want to just go and take like a 3 to 7 day trial. That's it. Go see what the workout's about. Then start to realize, what are they missing out of this workshop? Once you realize that, go to the manager and ask the manager and be like, hey, I absolutely love, number one, I want you guys to write this down. Number one, compliment them. Okay. Compliment them and say, hey, I absolutely love coming here because the vibe's cool, the workout's great, whatever you want to compliment them on. Okay. Whatever you feel that you really like about the gym. Okay. Don't fake it. And then number two, how is it going to benefit them? That's very important. So instead of me just positioning myself as, hey, I would like to do a workshop, instead, you're going to say, hey, I was actually talking to some of the members, because you want to show up 5 to 10 minutes before the class so you can actually start talking to your ideal customers and figure out, what do they really want? What are they missing? Okay. So I was actually talking to some of the members before class started, and they were actually saying that they would love some kind of stretching thing because their backs are killing them or their hips are killing them. Or you could position it like this. I noticed when we started doing a lot of the jumping stuff that people were like beelining it to the bathroom. And I was actually thinking, it got me thinking that it would be so amazing if we could actually do a workshop here and have everyone stop leaking so that they don't get embarrassed about that, and they want to continue to come to Burn Boot Camp and do working out instead of doing it at their house, so that they continue to come to the gym and want to do that. So I'm putting value on trying to keep people in the gym. That's going to bring more value to them. That's going to keep the members in the gym, rather than me just saying it's all about me and saying, hey, I just want to do a workshop here, because they're going to be like, okay, why? The other way you can position it and provide a lot of value to is ask them to charge for it. Hey, let's do a workshop. And if you charge, let's say $25 a member that comes in, okay, for the workshop, you can actually keep all the money. So I'll bring people in, you guys bring people in, whoever comes, it's gonna be $25 and you guys get all the money. I've done workshops like this, guys, and the gym has made like $600, $700 off the workshop. And you can either give it all to them, that's massive value, they're gonna want you back. So for those people that are like, Kelly, I have such a hard time getting into a gym, start charging for the workshop. You won't have any trouble. They'll be like, please come on in, okay? And or you can split it to where you get half and the gym gets half. And that way it's really incentivizing both of you guys to really bring the clients in, because then you guys are getting paid for your time. Okay. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it for free at first if you want, that's fine. But know that that's an added value to the gym. So really positioning it is the hardest, I think is the hardest thing when going up to gym owners, is just stating, why would this, and I want you guys to think about this, why would they want me to do this? And then that's how you need to position it so that it benefits their gym. And once you position it that way, then you're in with that gym.
Yes. So this is something we do with all of our local gyms in our area. I mentioned have a clinic on the Missouri side. So we have gotten really close with our Burn Boot Camp here. We've gotten close with another boot camp that has opened up. And then Orange Theory, our bar method, the cycle studios, Pilates, yoga, you name it. When we're doing this, number one, I always go for the free trial period, but while I'm there, I'm also saying, because this is true, hey, we have patients that are coming in that work out here. So I was curious about, what it's all about. And I want to get to know so I can better help that patient. Again, stay consistent with them coming in and staying in your classes. They want their money, right? They want their membership, continual membership. While we're there, we're also noticing the things, maybe how the trainers are talking, and maybe asking if we can have a meeting with them to even discuss some of the stuff that we're seeing with our patients, but maybe that they can benefit during their studio time. And then that's helping us set up the meetings to get to know them a little bit better. This, for us, for our local burn boot camp, what that helped us do was actually send their trainers to a prenatal postpartum training. So now they know how to modify and progress things better too. Something else we have done in the past is kind of what Kelly had said with a payment workshop. We did a 4-week return to core pelvic floor for the prenatal postpartum population. And for 4 weeks, it's helping them retrain their core and pelvic floor through different movements that they can do. But we're doing it within their workshop outside of within their gym outside of their gym hours. So anything, I think we had charged and this is $97 for 4 weeks is what we did for our first one, and had a lot of people show up, but it allowed people to come into the burn boot camp gym, allowed to see the equipment. And then when they were going back to their workshop or to their gym classes, they knew how to modify the exercises to benefit their pelvic floor and core to keep them in there without peeing their pants or continue to have a diastasis, blah, blah, blah. What that did for us after that, how did we benefit their people? We actually got on their email listserv too, which allowed us to be able to talk to more people, to their members, and then ask them questions and figure out exactly what issues they were having so that we could have things ready to go at the gym. So now their trainers know, like, and trust us that they can hand out pamphlets and pieces of paper to them they know exactly where to go. So we're getting referrals from those local gyms and studios before even them going to their local docs, which is pretty cool.
All right, guys, this is the fun one. Who has a hard time getting into doctor's offices? Raise your hand. Who has it? Come on. Okay. I see Stephanie. She's like, maybe. We all do, right? It's the hardest thing for most of us. Okay. So, what typically happens? You want me to go over the fun scenario? Typically, we come in holding our papers. We're already nervous. We're already a little clammy, and we go. And there's already maybe a line, or all the patients are around, and you're like, oh my God, I have to say this in front of the patient. Okay. Hi, I'm Kelly from Orthopelvic Physical Therapy. Can you take these and pass these out? That is definitely not going to get us in the door. Here, I'm just gonna drop this off. Is that cool? Yeah, that's cool. And then you never hear from them. They never give us a patient, and you're just like, great. Do I have to go do that again? The answer is yes, but in a different way. Okay. So what you want to do, number one, put on the best Kelly Clarkson song, whatever they have to do in the car before you go in there. Okay. I'm serious. Do something that pumps you up. Talk to your best friend, something. Okay. Then you can go into the doctor's office. And what I recommend, I said this on the last presentation, I like a postcard. I really don't like pamphlets that are folded, because people aren't really going to open them. So I like a postcard that's just you can see it. And then I don't even offer them I go into the office. I approach the lady at the front desk, dun, 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 dun. And I'm like, hey, Kelsey, I know her name, because you know what I did beforehand? Before you go into the doctor's office, this is very important. On that big 45 list that we told you guys about, you want to go, let's just say it's Dr. D is number 1 on there, and she's a urologist, okay? You want to go and say 3 things that are unique about Dr. D's office. So it could be oh, they treat males. It could be oh, they have the Mona Lisa. It could be, oh, wow, they also treat peds. Whatever it may be, you're going to write that on your list so that when you approach them, you already know the front desk name, because the front desk lady will be on the website typically. Not always, but typically. So you're going to be like, hey, Kelsey, oh my gosh, I saw your picture on the website. So nice to meet you in person. She's going to be like, how does this girl know my name? So that's already going to shock her and be like, okay, She's not just one of those skeezy people that I have 4 times a day coming in and just handing me pamphlets and going bye-bye. So she's already going to be like, oh, okay, I'm paying attention now because you said her name. Okay. If you don't know Kelsey's name at the front desk, the other way I approach this is, hey, we actually have a mutual patient. And also on that big 45 list, if you currently have patients from this doctor, guys, and I would ask every patient that you have, hey, who's your provider? Like, who are you seeing? Write down the name next to the provider. So I'd put Dr. D, patient Sally, Dr. whatever, patient Susie. Okay. So that way, when I go to Dr. D's office, I'm like, hey, we have a mutual patient. I would love to talk to Dr. D about this, or the nurse practitioner. You don't necessarily have to talk to the doctor or the nurse practitioner about this patient. Do they have a few seconds? And a lot of times they're not going to be like, no, because it's a patient. So that way, if you have that connection, great. If you don't have that connection, then as I'm approaching and I say my thing, hey, Kelsey, it's amazing that you guys do Mona Lisa. I would actually love to hear more about Mona Lisa. Do you guys have a second to tell me about it? Is the office manager here today? The office manager is here today. Okay, great. So I'm already anchoring something that I know is of value to them in their office, and not just walking in there with like a blank stare and no leg to stand on. And so then the manager comes out and comes around, and they'll be like, hey, how can I help you? I got 2 seconds. Hi, oh my gosh. Well, this patient Sally here, actually we share, and I would love to have 2 seconds conversation with Dr. D about this patient. What is the best phone number for her and or email that we can communicate through? And or can we set up just a quick meet and greet on your lunch break? I'll just come in for 5 to 15 minutes, if that's cool with you guys, and just ask the question and also just do a little education about pelvic health. If that's cool. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. And then I walk out and I come back. Now, if you have grumpy Susie at the desk, it's just like, you again. Okay, because now you've approached them every week. Because I coach my group, like, go every week and just be persistent with these people. Okay. Then you can show up with thanks a latte. You can show up with a latte. Hey, I was just in the area. This would be like the second time that I approach this person if she didn't really like me. Okay. Hey, I was just in the area. I just thought I'd bring you a latte today. How's your day going? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's great. Okay, fabulous. Bye. I'm not mentioning anything about my company. I'm not mentioning anything. I'm just going to give her and serve her, and hopefully she has a nice day. So that when I come back next week, because I'll come back, that she's like, oh, this girl actually gave me something. So I'll take my resting bitch face off and I'll be like very nice to her now. Like, seriously, this is what you got to do, is keep constantly, don't just stop at like, they told me no, because many of us will stop and be like, they told me no, I can't go back. It's too much. Okay. So you want to, let's framework this so it makes it easy to go down the list. Okay. So number 1, you got to do your big 45 list, write down the doctor that you want to go visit. That's number 1. Number 2, next to that, I need you to put down 3 unique things based on their website or their Facebook or whatever that is unique about their clinic that makes them different. Okay. Number 3 or 4, whatever. I think it's 3. Okay. Number 3, try to anchor a past patient, if you have one, to that. Or if this is not even a patient, but your neighbor has been to Dr. D, then anchor your neighbor to Dr. D. Okay. And be like, hey, my neighbor, actually, Sally over here, comes and sees you and she says she absolutely loves you. Okay, cool. So now this is going to make the conversation so much easier. And then step number 4 is you're going to ask for the office manager and get their contact information. That's very important. Okay, because we want that, because we're not just going to email the front desk because she'll keep ignoring us. Okay. And then number 5, once you get in with them, guys, and even the office manager, you can ask and be like, hey, I would love to come in and treat you guys. I know many people probably bring you guys lunches. It's just not our vibe. I just don't bring people lunches, okay? And we all shouldn't. But instead, you know what we can do? We can show them our value. We can offer to treat them during their lunch. Okay. Because they're busy like us. So, hey, can I come in and treat you for 10 minutes, 5 minutes? I know you may not have pain, but I just want to show you and just like calm your nervous system. We all need it. Ha ha ha. Like make it like not jokey, but lighthearted to where they're like, yeah, oh my God, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I'll come in. So another way that we've been able to get past the front desk is order a vulva costume off Amazon, guys. Order that. Literally walk in. Now this takes some confidence, I have to say, okay? But walk into the office in the vulva costume, stand in front of the front desk and be like, hey, I'm here. Is your office manager here today? Because I saw that her name is whatever on the website, and I would love to speak to Susie. Don't just say office manager, like try to say her name if you know her name, okay? And in the meantime, when you're in maybe the hospital or whatever else, and you're walking in the badge costume, this has happened to me for real, people will be like, what are you? I literally had a lady, guys, tell me, well, I was in the elevator with her and she's like, so what are you? And I was like, a vulva. And she was like, what's a vulva? I was like, a vagina. And she was like, oh yeah, that thing. I have one. Like, yeah, like, so, walk around in the vulva costume. People will ask you and stop you and ask you and be like, hey, like, this is what it is. This is what I do. Well, it's perfect marketing. So those are some of the ways that has really helped us get into the doctor's office and not feel so intimidating and make it not feel so awkward and uncomfortable.
On top of the vulva costume, we did this I think 2 years ago. I have a tampon costume and we filmed it. It was great marketing material for social media, but I put on the tampon costume and we went to the local Target and went through the aisle and were like, not organic, not organic, not organic, like hitting the things that were like bad options, focusing on the really good options. And then from there, there's a park next door. So I took the tampon myself down the slide on the swings. Guess who's at the park midday? Our clientele, our moms with kids. And at first they were like, what the hell is going on? I was like, we have organic tampons. We have business cards. You have pain with inserting a tampon. We can help you with that. Best marketing material. After that, went to the local businesses, got a tea. It is awesome. And it makes people giggle, catches them off guard. How many times a week do you see a walking vulva or walking tampon walking around? You don't. So these are really great options just to like catch people off guard. And then who are they going to go tell their friends about that? 100%, most likely. So great
And they'll be taking
ideas.
pictures of you and posting.
Yes, they're amazing.
Yeah.
On top of that, other unique marketing ideas that we do, we make t-shirts in our clinic too. We have our top pelvic posse stars of the month that each therapist picks one patient where we feel like they've done an excellent job at keeping up with their exercises or they've had really good growth and benefits that in the beginning, it might have been like a $5 Starbucks gift card, y'all, or something like that, or something to our local coffee shop in town. And now everybody wants our tank tops that say adore your pelvic floor or literally the best team. Like people are wanting these things and it's making them now want to do their home exercise program. Win-win for us. And then they're advertising their shirts. I also started doing this because I'm not allowed to sponsor my kids' soccer team, whole nother story. But now my moms are out on the soccer field and adore your pelvic floor and empower your pelvis t-shirts. And it's just like, boom, boom, high five, mom, you get it. And again, that's where my people are at. So walking advertisement is amazing, whether it's on social media or in person in your community. Other ways that we do this, we sponsor, and in the beginning, this was hard because financially it may not have been feasible, but in-person booths at expos or clinics or events. So this might be local 5Ks. Those are easier to get into as free booths. And it might be to sponsor a breast cancer survivor in our area. It might be we just did breast cancer. We did ovarian cancer. We're doing a fertility one here in the fall. And it allows us to get our information out there as they're running. I have on the back of our shirt, like I'm not peeing while I'm running, or we've got people who are out there with pelvises and vulva at the clinic or at their table at our booth, just hollering and talking to people, handing out waters because that's a great bladder fluid to put in and anything else that we can really benefit them on. But usually a lot of bladder and pressure topics is what we're talking about at those like 5K events. at the expos, if it's a prenatal postpartum, we're figuring out what our clients may want to know. And of course, speaking in layman's terms, and in all our little postcards that we're handing out, they're in layman's terms, like how 3 exercises for low back pain. And then we have pictures on our little pamphlets that we're handing out at that event with a QR code that's going to allow them to either download us doing those videos that takes them to our YouTube or takes them to our website for them to get more information. We collaborate with other businesses. So a couple of things that we do this, we have a lactation group in town that we work fairly close with because our moms end up going to lactation for help. So we put on breastfeeding awareness groups. We've got one coming up at the end of the month. Another one that we're doing this month or next month, I'm sorry, is a summer kickoff party. We're teaming up with local chiropractor, a local lactation consultant, a peds PT, all where my people are and where we are. And we're putting on a little summer family get together where they can bring their family members there. We're sharing clients and relationships, and then we're inviting local community mom and pop shops to come be a part of our event. You come join us, help us thank everybody for a wonderful year, and that's just another way we're doing it. Another collaboration, I think Kelly mentioned last time about her inviting like a smoothie shop into her business, you know, for local collaboration with local businesses. We're doing this with our kombucha lady. We've got a Wabago local kombucha lady that makes really great kombucha. She's a past couple years, past ER nurse is what she is. In the past couple of years, she's been making kombucha and she does it amazing. And now it's in our clinic and we're doing, again, she's at the farmer's market during the summertime. So we're doing team ups with them as well. Putting on an in-person webinar. We've got more breastfeeding classes, birth prep online, free workout classes. Something we're starting here at local parks is a stroller walk hosted by Empower Your Pelvis. So we're getting moms together to get out and walk and move their bodies, but then we're going to have, you know what, everybody's doing some mobility within that stroller walk, also educating them on pelvic floor 101. And then I mentioned community service options. Again, this is just a way that we like to give back to our community. I mentioned the NICU way. We also do our teachers in August, and I pick up stuff at Costco. So it's popcorn and we skinny pop. And I usually drop off bladder habits because we know most teachers are holding their bladder way too long and they have terrible bladder habits and they're drinking all of the Coke and Coca-Cola and all of the other bladder irritants that mess with things down there. And so we have the sign that's like just popping in to say thank you. They get their little skinny pop. We keep it in their teacher's lounge. They let us know if they have any issues. And that has really helped them get to know like, oh my God, there's help for this. Or if I need a note or someone to look at my pelvic floor, we get a lot of teachers from doing that type of community service as well. And then other local ones around the areas like our firemen. We know our firemen have high and tight pelvic floors. So we go do workshops and events for them. Sometimes we get their wives that come in instead of the firemen, but our goal is always the firemen with that one, just because we know they're dealing with stress down there and a high and tight pelvic floor.
Awesome. Great ones. And teachers, guys, are amazing clients. You think, oh my God, how can they afford to pay cash? They can because they have big problems. We get a lot of teachers too. And it's a really good clientele because I don't know about you, Amanda, but to me, they're very consistent. What about you?
Same. And then of course, who are they around all day? More teachers. So in the summertime, our like waiting room is full of teachers and they joke like, man, the reason we're in here is because it's so dysfunctional over there at the school that our pelvic floor became dysfunctional and becomes like a laughing matter. And they all enjoy actually working out together here as well. And then it gets passed on through the hallways. So they're great, great patients.
Yeah, they're really good. All right, guys. So some more unique marketing ideas. One of my mastermind students, she just put on a vag painting party. VDoc, you guys should follow her. But she, shout out to her. But basically, she had these canvases. She went to the dollar store and she drew, and she's not an artist. She just drew like different vulvas, and she had like 20 different paintings, and she got the paint from the dollar store, and she put up a table. and she invited local business owners like chiros, massage therapists, acupuncturists, all to come together, and they spent time just drinking wine and painting, and it was like a massive, massive hit. So just something like that. You could also make like bracelets that maybe say inhale, exhale. These are very unique marketing methods that even if you didn't have a clinic, you could either ask someone, hey, I would love to just host this event and I would love to use your space. Is that cool? A lot of times people, especially other business owners, will allow you to use their space on the weekend if it's something that's like supporting a big cause. Like, I would love to help these women do this. So that is something that you could do. You could also do it locally at a park, put blankets down, get the canvas, and not the canvas, and just start painting vulvas at a park. And you know what? It's probably better at a park because so many people would be coming up being like, what kind of party is this? So, and I would put a sign out that would say like orthopelvic PT painting party. And so when people walk by, they'd be like, what's happening over there? Let me look. And I'd put my Instagram handle on the sign that I had made so that they would start looking things up. So going off of Instagram handle at a farmer's market, I was literally there. By the way, these are real life examples. I was literally there this weekend and someone messaged me on Facebook and was like, hey, my husband saw your shirt, not even this woman. My husband saw your shirt, looked it up, and then gave the information to me. I started following you, and come to find out, she's a pelvic health peds physical therapist in my area, and she just sent me a patient today. So just from me, I didn't even talk to this person, this dad, okay? Just from me wearing my shirt, and on the back of my shirt, I have at orthopelvic PT, and I wasn't even talking to anyone really. Just because of that, we got a patient today, a 17-year-old male patient that has pelvic floor dysfunction. How crazy is that? So always, if you can, when you're just starting out, guys, I don't have my shirt on today, but if you have a logo and you can make one on Canva, if not, I think the website is called like FIVER, whatever that the name of that is, but you can hire a local artist for like $10 to make you a logo, and then you can send it off to be printed and wear that shirt. Even if you just have one, wear it around everywhere and make sure your Instagram handle is on the back and just wear it. And people will start to talk about what's on your shirt. Okay. Now, also what's been really helpful for us is these MOP groups. Someone on here in the chat said, hey, I've been targeting these MOPS groups. The MOPS stands for mother of, I forgot, someone can help correct me in here, but
Preschoolers.
it's preschoolers. Thank you. It's basically these church groups, and these women are so amazing. Like I just did a presentation literally last month to MOPS groups, and we got 34 contacts on our sheet just from these MOP groups. That's 34 new leads. Google Ads can't do that. Instagram can't do that. Like that's massive. So if you're in your local area, look up MOPS groups, and you can go and you can give a presentation, and more than likely they're really inviting because they look for people to come in and do different presentations to help support the community. So they're great. I love those groups. Another way is a CrossFit competition. So maybe there's one locally, maybe there's like a strongman competition, any kind of competitions that are local in your area. Maybe you go there and you help offer your time to help these athletes perform better. That's something that you can get a lot of people at because you're already doing the thing and they're like, hey, I feel good. It's way better than me just saying, this is me, because they don't care. But when you actually touch someone and you actually give them an experience, that experience is what makes them become a customer. That's it. Okay. I did an online women's summit, but they had to actually come to my clinic. So these are all the bags that I made. I made over 300 bags in my clinic. This was like 2 years ago. But because even though it was online, they had to come to the clinic to pick up the bags. And because they actually had to come to the clinic, then I got so much more traffic with them actually coming to the clinic to get a product. So maybe you don't do a summit, but maybe you have something to where you put out something on like online, but then they have to come in person somewhere or meet you at a park if you don't have a clinic to then get something. Like that could be a handout. It could be something very simple. It doesn't have to be this crazy stuff here. Workshops. Clearly, I mean, workshops are key. Offering a free session just get them on the table. When I first started out, guys, I went to trailheads because no one was touching anyone. I went to trailheads and I was like, hey, I didn't even have a table, by the way, because the table's like $200. I couldn't even afford that. So I was like, hey, parking lot right here. Okay, come to the parking lot. We're going to do a movement assessment on you in the parking lot. And I had them I used the parking lot lines, had them jump, had them run from one line to the next. And I did a full on movement assessment and then said, hey, I would love to work on you. Here's some tips. Would love to work on you. When would you like to schedule a session? And I started just gaining clients from there. That's literally how I started. And I was mobile. So I would go to their homes. And then I finally had to get a table. So yeah, it cost me probably like $200. Running clubs, like I said, go find out when people are running from Lululemon. The stores are still promoting running clubs, some of them, depending on your area. Bike clubs, maybe because those people have pelvic floor issues because they're sitting. So maybe if you're a biker and you're like, hey, I love that population, go to bike shops. Hey, when you guys have weekend rides that come out from here, I would love to come and join you guys. Cool. Let me come do that and talk to some people. You do that. Also, search for meetups, like meetups.com or whatever. Search for that. Like when I was new to an area, like here in Virginia, I didn't know anyone. So I was like, what's happening here in the area? Okay, people are going hiking. I actually like hiking. So let me go to my people because I actually like that. So I would go and meet up with people that like to hike and I would start connecting with people. And once you actually start building a genuine relationship with people, they're going to come see you because they already know, like, and trust you, like Amanda was saying. So that's key. You've got to just build relationships. So these are just some unique marketing methods. So because you guys stayed to the end, you get rewarded big time today because Amanda and I went all out on this. So as some of you know, Amanda and I are putting on a massive marketing workshop June 1st. It is going to be a full day of just strictly marketing in Clearwater, Florida. So what's going to happen is we are going to give you $200 off, $200 off of the ticket today only. And it's going to be our workshop plus Greg Todd's workshop. So that's going to be 3 or 4 days of actually marketing and sales. On top of that, we are going to include some freebies here. How to create a massive influence when no one is following me. So for those people in the chat that are like, look, I don't even know where to start, that's for you, okay? Also, how to selling ice to Eskimos, how to sell to your people. That's very important because you can market all day, but maybe you don't know how to actually convert them into a client. So there's one side where you have to attract, the other side we have to convert. Also, how to position myself on social media. You really want to be the go-to person on social media. How do you do that? And then we're also going to be giving away a social media mastery user's guide. On top of that, we are literally going to be giving away 1 hour strategy call to specifically address your needs so that, like in the chat, I was seeing like, I don't know where to start and what to do. If you're those people, this ticket right here is so massive. There's so much value that you'll get so much clarity of like, okay, I have a plan, and we will get you a plan on the call and all the other stuff that we are throwing in on this. So today only, we are giving $200 off. We have not done this, okay? We just know that it's super, super important for, I'm gonna stop sharing. It's super, super important for you guys to be there. Because when you're there in person, Tori knows, Tori's been to one of my events, right, Tori? Tori's on. When you're there in person, tell them. Amber's been to one of my events, right? Like when you're there in person, the connection that you are actually getting and the support that you are actually getting is so massive because you're going to be like, hey, no one else knows what I'm going through, but these people do. And just having that like support and being like, wow. And when you just meet in person, it's so different.
And us actually taking the time at our marketing workshop to break it down and to do an audit on your stuff and what you're doing, and you to ask the questions right there is huge. And I feel like that has been the biggest takeaway when we've done these in person before, is actually taking the time. Because when do you actually schedule out time for marketing and plan out marketing? When you get to sit down and do that, it's like, Now I feel like I get to go back home and I have a plan and I know how to take it into effect instead of us going home and being like, oh gosh, I just jumped right back into work and I don't know when I'm going to have time to actually build this out. We're going to do that with you step by step by step. And that's what I love is actually us taking the time to look at your business, answer your questions, and build out a plan. Did we get everybody's questions
Yes.
answered, by the way?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
Stephanie said, is it actually legal to treat someone for free? Yes, you can actually just, because you won't give them a super bill. You're not going to, coat them or whatever else. It's just like giving them,
It's our pro
everyone has
bono.
it's like a free trial thing, right? So you can definitely treat them for free. You can treat the doctors for free. It's a-okay. And it's also something that's going to be like a practical to you because you're just trying to get your feet wet and seeing like what the vibe is like. And it's going to build your confidence to be like, you know what? I did change that person's life. So why can't I charge for this? And then you're going to be like, instead of charging 100, I'm going to raise my price to this. Go ahead, Amanda.
We do have them sign waivers. We also have people sign waivers if it's free or self-pay that we are not connected with insurance in any way. So they can't go and try to turn it in later and have us pay for it or us get reimbursed by like a contracted rate. We do all the consents, guys. Always look after your hiney first.
Yep, exactly.
Do I do super bills? Yes. We do super bills for all of our self-pay patients.
Said also, is the marketing summit going to have a replay option? Yes. So we are going to I want to go so bad, but sadly I can't go on the weekend. So potentially it will be recorded. Potentially we'll have it after the fact, but really we have not decided that yet. But I mean, there will be some recording. Amanda and I have not discussed that yet. So we really are just wanting people, the goal for this thing is honestly to make impact. That's what it is. We just want people there. And we know that if you're there, you're going to like take it from here to here. But if you're not, then it's harder. Like, I don't know, Tori, can you speak on it? Are you there? I'm gonna unmute you. Is that okay? You want to speak? I'm just gonna throw you on the spot. I don't know if I can. Can I unmute you?
I popped up. Yeah, it was really good when I came in October. It was really good connecting with people, connecting with you, Kelly. I loved it. I had such a fun weekend and I like doubled my income the following month. So it definitely made an impact.
Awesome. Thanks, Tori. Amber, do you want to speak on it too? She's on.
Yeah. When I got to see you both in person a year ago, almost exactly, I had 0 patients, $0. So now I'm getting like 8 visits a week. So I don't know, I think I'm getting like $4,000 a month right now. So
Whoop, whoop.
I guess more than that now, but yeah. So every month this year has been doubling, which is cool.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It works. Because today, like we only got you for an hour, which was great. And think of everything that you've learned over the last hour, and even better if you got to come on their last webinar. But then you're going to get them for like a whole day. Plus you're going to get Greg Todd, who coaches both of them. So it's just going to be a lot of wisdom. I'll be there. I'm excited about it.
And the energy in person is just like, I don't know. I'm an empath. I feed off energy, as do I feel like Kelly as well. So you just take that and amplify it. And then you're like, oh, she's doing that. What a great idea. This person is in a similar range as me. Like you being plastics, Amber and Lauren, like what a great connection. And then to be able to like team up in person and connect that even further and brainstorm is huge. Some people might think of it as competition. It's not competition, guys. It's building relationships and learning off of what someone else has already done. It takes you 10 steps further, faster than you can ever imagine and where you want to go. Amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. All right. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions for us?
Oh, you guys are IG buddies. So cute. Way to go, guys.
Kelly, if you were thinking of going to the conference, should we also hire you for marketing, or is it the same thing? Good question. I say go to the conference. You're going to get so much value there. And then after the fact, if you're like, hey, look, I need some more, then you can come aboard. But definitely, I would say let's get to the conference, because I just know the reason why I'm saying that is just it's going to make such an impact. I'm just telling you, the people in person. How can we schedule the 1 hour consult with you guys? That's when you sign up. So if you sign up today, like that's what I'm saying, this is big. If you sign up today, you literally get the ticket to the event, June 1st, the 4th. You also will get a 1 hour strategy call, okay? That we will literally specifically walk through what you have to do, every single step specifically for you. Then in addition, you are going to get 4 of those guides, all those freebies that we just put down as well. And then you're also going to get these Zooms as well. So there's just, it's a lot, and $200 off. And we have not done that. So can you guys do a conference in Colorado? Maybe. We'll see. Maybe. It's never a no. I always like traveling. Why not? So, but yeah, I mean, I would try to do anything you can to get there and be there. I'm telling you, it just makes all the difference. Yeah.
And you're going to get us
So-
multiple days. So if you come up with questions, after this, it's like you've got to think of a question, email it out, try to get a hold of us. But there, you can bug us at dinner, bug us at breakfast. Let's go for a walk on the beach, right? Let's go do some
Yes,
yoga.
we
Kelly
like
and I
to
like
work
to
out
work out in the mornings.
presentations. Yeah. So you
So-
should come and hang out with us. We'll make some
We're fun
Instagrams.
people.
We'll make some
Are fun
Instagrams and
people.
full
And-
costumes all over.
And we're going to be giving out lots of fun gifts, I guess, for people who come and participate in person. So that's another fun little gimmick. So if you want any freebies, I like to win gifts. My jam, especially when it's
Yeah.
pelvic floor related or PT related. But join us in Clearwater, sunny Florida. We would love to see you there.
I'll
Bring
have
your
my hat on.
props.
All right, guys. Anything else? Anything else? Yeah, Polly, you should just come to hang out with Amanda. That's right.
We've been trying
She's
for
fun.
like a year. We have. It needs to happen.
All right. If nothing else, when is next
May 2nd.
webinar?
May
2
2nd.
weeks. Yep. So awesome, guys. So glad you loved it. And any other feedback, comments, or anything else you want to learn, please let us know. We'd be happy to put it on the next webinar. So, okay. And hopefully we'll see you guys at the event.
Do you help someone who's painfully
got-
shy? Yes, we help people who are shy of all ages.
Yes. I was actually very shy, but now I'm not. But I used to be, actually.
Yes,
I
she
used to have
was.
to take vodka shots. So, yeah. All right, guys. Peace.
Bye.